Since it was past midnight, the people of Gokul were fast asleep. Vasudeva didn't have any trouble entering the palace of King Nanda, for the palace doors were wide open. Unlike Kamsa, Nanda was a fair king, and the people under his rule didn't fear for intruders or thieves in the night. Treading softly, Vasudeva entered Queen Yashoda's quarter. She was sleeping peacefully in her bed, and her baby girl beside her was awake, staring at the door. It was almost as if she was expecting him to come. Vasudeva scooped Yashoda's baby girl in his other arm and placed his son in the empty space next to Yashoda. "Goodbye, my son," Vasudeva whispered. With tears in his eyes, he left Gokul with Nanda's daughter in his arms. Like before, River Yamuna parted for him, and Vasudeva returned to the prison with the girl child. He entered the cell and laid the baby by Devaki's side. As soon as the child felt the hard floor on her back, she opened her mouth and cried lustily. Clanged! The prison doors closed. The guards were now awake and became aware that a baby was born. They rushed to Kamsa to deliver him the news. The 8th child, slayer of Kamsa, was born. The evil king was both pleased and afraid to hear of the birth of his nephew. He was pleased that he could finally kill the 8th child of his sister, and he was also afraid that he might not be able to. Braving himself, he rushed to the palace dungeons to execute the child who was said to be his slayer. He reached the dungeons in great anger. The palace guards trembled at his enraged face. Kamsa entered the cell, where his sister and her husband lived for the past 9 years. "Where is he?" he roared at the now awake Devaki. "Where is my killer?" Devaki had regained her consciousness only after Vasudeva switched the babies. She actually thought that her 8th child was a daughter. She appealed to her brother. "Oh Kamsa, my 8th child is a girl, and not the son that the oracle warned you about. How can she harm you? Please let your only niece live." Kamsa ignored her. Love for his life had clouded his common sense, and he forgot the oracle's warning about his slayer being a boy. In blind rage, Kamsa snatched the baby girl from Devaki's lap and hurled the child against the prison wall. The baby did not die. Instead, she flew up and for a second remained suspended in the air. Then the prison was filled with a blinding light. Kamsa covered his face from the intensity of the light. As the light subsided, they realized that the child has changed into a ferocious goddess. She rose above Kamsa's head as the 8-armed form of goddess Durga. Dressed in shining garments and dazzling jewels, she looked terrible and divine at the same time. The goddess looked at the bewildered Kamsa in contempt and pity. She said, "Foolish Kamsa, you will gain nothing by killing me. Your slayer is already born. He is now well and alive in a safe place, and one day he will come in search of you and kill you." Saying so, she disappeared, leaving behind a terror-stricken Kamsa. Kamsa felt humiliated by the turn of events. In his confusion, he freed Vasudeva and Devaki from prison. Vasudeva then narrated what happened on that night to his wife. Devaki, though sad that her son was separated from her, was happy for the baby. Both of them prayed to God that her son should not fall into the clutches of his evil uncle Kamsa. Meanwhile, there was great rejoicing in Gokul. The cowherd tribes of Gokul were smiling from ear to ear. A new baby boy was born to their king Nanda. The streets were swept clean and the houses were decorated with color streamers and fragrant flowers. The household of Nanda was in joyous mood. Nanda named the child Krishna. Everybody in Gokul danced in joy and flocked to Nanda's house to see the baby boy and to offer gifts. The child was like no ordinary child. His skin was a dark midnight blue in color and his eyes twinkled merrily. He never cried and always had a smile for everyone. Yashoda felt very proud. "Ah, my son," she crooned lovingly at little Krishna. "You are going to be spoiled by us.